So at a management book review today, I am going to review this book titled The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. Actually, our meeting agenda started getting prepared almost 2 weeks in advance. So even before the election results were announced, I suggested this title to VP Education. And while going through the book, I could find out whatever is happening in today's election scenario, and I could very well connect with this title, the content of this book. So let me talk about some of the important aspects of the book. The main message in this book by Malcolm Gladwell is all about starting with small things which can go viral over a period of time with a set of conditions. So by the way, Malcolm Gladwell is a popular author. He has written several popular books. Any guess what are the other titles? Has anyone read Outliers?
Yes.
Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell. So not only Outliers, he has written 4 or half a dozen books. All of them we have become popular. This particular book was written almost 26 years back, and even today it is relevant. So here are the crux or the message is start with small things. Ideas can spread like viral infection. So viral infection generally, so even during COVID time we have seen that it will start with a small multiplication, and all of a sudden it will geometrically progress. So till a particular time it will arithmetically progress, and all of a sudden it will go in an exponential fashion. So that is how any idea or any process or any product can go viral over a period of time. So here he has suggested 3 ground rules how it can become viral. So the moment you take up an idea, so there are 3 set of people who are required to make this idea viral. Number 1 is connector. Connector is a person who has got multiple collections. For example, in social media, there are some people in LinkedIn who have 20,000 followers, who are having 10,000 followers. If you want to be successful, you don't have to have 20,000 people, but you connect with one person who has got around 20,000 followers. The moment that person likes your post or shares your story, then automatically your story will be reached to his connections, 20,000 people. Then he talks about another person called the mavens. Mavens, these are all people who have authority, who have knowledge, and always know they go through any ideas and then they come out with the conviction and propagate the story. So mavens. Then the third one is called the salesperson. The salesperson always has the knack of persuading people. So these 3 stakeholders, they are all basically 20% of the entire population. So as the Pareto law says, 20% of the people can make 80% of the changes, any context. So if these 3 stakeholders are there, definitely your idea will get the tipping point. The second point, so apart from the people, the second point is you need to have proper context. So whatever message you are saying, it should appropriately come out with context. So the context, for example, even if you are a speaker and if you want to make your speech memorable, the delivery is important. So not only the message, so the delivery is also important. Then the third point is stickiness. So at least for a minimum, small set of audience, the message should be sticky enough. Sticky enough is, in our term, it should be engaging. You should be able to connect with the right audience, right? So the moment you start connecting with the audience, and if they are able to remember the message or idea, then it has the opportunity to go multifold. And he has given a lot of examples in this particular book. So one such example is, I think many of you are familiar with the shoe brand called Hush Puppies. Hush Puppies, they are a unique set of shoes manufacturer, and way back, it was a popular brand, and automatically, like any other product, the sales started coming down because it almost reached saturation. But way back in early 90s, one small set of group of people who are in the, I can say, the people who are in pop culture, they started wearing this. The moment they started wearing this, again immediately the audience started wearing it. So the moment audience started wearing it, the entire company started, and again sales picked up. So no one were able to find out a clue how all of a sudden there is a surge in the sales that has happened. So it is all because of a small set of people. Then not only this kind of exponential growth, even he has mentioned about how certain activities can come down drastically. So another example here in this book he has mentioned is about the crime rate level happening in 80s in New York City. So New York City is notorious for its crimes. So wherever you see public places or the metro trains, people try to put graffitis. So that is with the spray paint, they put all kind of symbols or some funny cartoons kind of stuff. Totally it will be nasty and ugly. And subways are always dangerous to be alone. So anytime you get bumped, anytime you will get attacked. So that is the kind of the culture it was prevalent in New York City. So in fact, around 2,000 murders per year. So that was the statistics rate of murders, the crimes that are happening in New York City. But one particular gentleman, he started doing small things. That means whenever a train comes to New York City and while it is going out of the yard, it will be clean. All the graffitis will be removed. So all of a sudden people started thinking that something is happening. And that small act helped the entire community to bring down the murder level. And this is not only about examples. Malcolm Gladwell also talks about several theories. Pareto theory, then 6 degrees of separation. So that means any person in the world can be connected with the 6 degrees. If you connect with a popular person and that particular person knows another person, anyone, so you can connect with even US president if you have the right connect. So the 6 degrees of separation. Then he talks about what is that broken window theory. I don't have time to explain all that. So this is a wonderful book to understand more about such kind of theories. So as a reviewer, I should also like to talk about the flip side of it. So there are a lot of critics who also say that whatever thought process shared by Malcolm Gladwell is not true. He has picked up advantageously and taken some examples that are very suitable for his theory. So always it need not be proved. So that is what, but still he is able to articulate in a lucid language, and he is able to connect with the audience, and even today it has become relevant. So I think all of us have witnessed in the last 10 days how a particular party which was so silent, and all of a sudden they reached the tipping point, and today an unexpected person is going to become the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. So that is a classic examples of a tipping point. So with that, let me pass this management to review both of those.
Thank you so much. Big round of applause. The next puzzle piece that will complete the picture is I. Ideas that spark, that makes us remember the conference forever. Here are some of the ideas that sparked, and I absolutely love the conference for these reasons. The last conference, where instead of just giving us a trophy or a memento, they decided to take pictures of all the role players of the conference and give it as a memento to all the role players in that conference. In 2013, Arun Kumar from Infosys was in charge of the PR for the conference. And he announced every Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there will be a quiz. The one who answers fastest will be given awards. And they managed to run this show consecutively for 2 months, every Tuesday, exactly at 2 o'clock. There's been times I remember in my office, we used to just keep waiting from 1:55, when is the next question coming. So they kept us on toes. The ideas were super. Last conference, how many of you wrote that gratitude note? Last Discover. In all your kit bags, there was a gratitude note. So we were allowed to write gratitude notes using that card and give it to the people who inspired us to be in this fraternity. Very small ideas, but a greater impact. Ideas will help us spark and remember the conference forever. Having said that, let's move on to the next agenda item, the segment of prepared speeches. Today, our first speaker is someone super special, but before I call upon the speaker, let me invite the evaluator to give out the project objectives. When I asked this evaluator the conference that he loved the most, he said 2019 conference, just before COVID, because during this lockdown time for the entire 2 years, we were only reminiscing as to how good it was when we all met in person. So we were reminiscing the good times that we had during 2019 Ovation. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Ashok to give out the project objectives for our next speaker.
today speaker Toastmaster Priya Damodaran is delivering her icebreaker speech. So the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Timer to know, time is 4 to 6 minutes. Timer 4 to 6 minutes.
Thank you, Ashok. Our next speaker, or rather the first speaker of the prepared speech segment, is Toastmaster Priya. Please come. When I asked Priya, the conference that you remember, she gladly replied to me saying, Vijay, the last conference, because that was my first conference. I hope it's the same for all the other conferences to follow. Priya will be giving her Engaging Humor Level 1 Project 1 Icebreaker, titled, Who Am I Really? Who Am I Really? Toastmaster Priya.
Happy morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank my sister for introducing me into Toastmasters. She told me that you have to join in Toastmasters. I did not even have a clue what Toastmasters was all about. When I had my kid who was in 1 year only, she said, I don't know what you would do. I want you to somehow attend a Toastmasters club meeting. And I was searching for some clubs, and at that time we had the Gandhinagar club which had the meetings on Sunday. But then when I rejoined in a IT sector in HCL office, I was excited to know that they had a new club over there, and I attended the meeting and I started joining there. And till day she is supporting me, and with her support I am continuing my journey for the past 7+ years into Toastmasters. And I am here excited to give my icebreaker speech in the third pathways, engaging humor for the day. How many of you have a pet as a cat? Does any of you have a pet as a cat? Okay. So I think we have our resident DTM Sundar Raman having pet as a. Have you? Has the cat ever come near you, closing its eyes?
Not sure.
Not sure. Okay. So have you all heard? No? When a cat closes its eyes, what does that mean? What does it think? Have you heard of this phrase?
Blind.
Okay, that's what people say. When a cat closes its eyes, what people say is the entire, what people say that the cat thinks is the entire world is dark. But in actual, if you see, when a cat feels comfortable with someone, goes near them, closes its eyes, it means it's very calm and relaxed, and it trusts that person, and it feels it's safe. And they call it as cat kiss. So cat kiss means, so there are two things here. One is the actual reality, and the other one is what people really talk. So they both need not be the same. So in actual, the cat feels very very safe and trusts that person when it goes and closes its eyes. But what people think is, it feels that the entire world is going to be dark. So with that, let me start my icebreaker for today. I was so ignorant when I was very young, when somewhere I was about in my LKG. I had a younger brother who was 5 years younger to me, and they used to get Cerelac for him. And it's only for the babies. And what I used to do is, I used to steal in the sense like without anybody's knowledge, and take that and eat. And while eating it, I will sit at the center of the hall, take one bedsheet, cover myself, and then I eat it, thinking I will never get caught. Because when I put the bedsheet over me, I will not be able to see the entire people, and I feel nobody can see me. And sitting in the center of the hall, I'll put that bedsheet over me and I eat. My auntie, she never used to, she's my very favorite, she will always say, she is the cute cat. She thinks that nobody watches and she will be there, but she has never taken back, or she will be, make me believe as though she couldn't see me. Okay, so I used to do this for quite some time, and they were laughing at me. And after some time, I came to know about this. So whenever I remember this, it's like I had thought something else, but in reality, things were different. So that's our perception. So that is how ignorant I was during my childhood days. And to call me, like, who am I? So, an ignorant person, an innocent person. And next, I'm a chatterbox, an idiot. That's how people used to call me. If she starts talking, she will never stop. So that was the identity that I had, and that was one of the reasons that I joined in Toastmasters also. Right now also I do speak, but I know when to pause. And I know, I at least for quite some time when talking to few people, I know where I have to stay silent. And there was also another thing, once my son called me, every time when I meet new people, I ask them their name, shake hands. And after some time I ask them their name again. And my son used to teach me like, Amma, when you join Toastmasters, they join for active listening. But you act as though you are listening, which means when you listen to them, you don't really listen. You act as though, no, you hear their name, but again you do. So you are not a real Toastmaster. You are not an active listener, you are an acting listener. And I felt like laughing. And though sometimes it is true, I have to agree to that. So really, who am I? So am I innocent? Am I ignorant? Or am I really acting? I do not know. I have just started my journey in Toastmasters with this new pathways, engaging humor, because humor makes us feel light and we can connect to the audience. Initially I was very playful. After some time, once getting married with the kids and with responsibilities, I felt I had lost my humor and I'm very serious. So I really want to connect back to people and intentionally I have taken this pathways engaging humor. Though it is going to be real tough for me, I think with my mentor, somewhere by the time I reach level 5, you all will be able to see who am I? Am I really an engaging speaker who can make audience laugh? If not, at least can I make them smile even for a single moment? That would be my success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us see who you are, really. With that, let's move on to the next prepared speaker for today. Before I call upon the speaker, let me call upon the evaluator. When I asked this evaluator what was his favorite conference, he gave me 2. One, the 2023, where he stood as a runner-up in the TT contest, and he didn't fail to mention that you were the chief judge for that contest. And then he said 2015 district conference, one of my favorites as well, where we had Pecha Kucha, where there'll be 20 slides playing in 20 seconds and the slides will automatically change one after the other. That was a very interesting segment, even I enjoyed that. I think we stopped somewhere doing that, only very few clubs did in the later years. Please help me welcome our next evaluator, Toastmaster Pattabhiraman, to give out the project objectives. Distinguished Toastmaster Pattabhiraman.
Level 4, speech 1, managing a difficult audience from the path presentation mastery, which is going to be delivered by Toastmaster Narasimha. The project purpose for the member is to practice the skill needed to address audience challenges whenever he presents outside the Toastmasters Club. All the best to Toastmaster Narasimha. Back to.
Thank you so much, sir. Our next speaker today shares his favorite moment in a district conference. He said it was last Discover where he had the opportunity to meet a world champion, Luisa Montalvo. And along with Luisa, he had the opportunity to get his book given to them and taken a picture with Fuzzy as well. Please help me welcome our next speaker for today, Toastmaster Narasimha.
Thank you very much.
Why most faculty advice fails for IT professionals? Why most faculty advice fails for IT professionals? Toastmaster Narasimha.
Happy morning, healthy morning, good morning, hello Toastmasters. Let me start with a simple question. How many of you here started with some fat loss method? Could be gym, joining a gym, or downloading a diet plan. Anybody? Looks like a few of them started. After a few days, after a few weeks, what has happened?
Motivation going down.
Motivation going down, and you stop the routine. So why does that happen? Many IT professionals across the world, they start with some diet advice. or fat loss advice, fat loss method every year, right? They download an app or start with some strict diet.
Mostly
start with-
YouTube, they don't listen to somebody.
Yeah, that's a very good perspective as well. I know that EDM webinar. I will come to that. And what happens? They start with something, but a lot of plot twist happens, right? Something comes in, deadline increases, or meeting happens late evening, and some sort of a family commitment comes in place, and all the routine disappears. This raises an interesting question, simple question. Why fat loss advice particularly fails for IT professionals? Let me break 3 myths here. Let me start with myth number 1. Eat less, exercise more. This is a typical thing to create some calorie deficit. What happens? This is very good on paper, very good advice on paper, but real life is not a lab.
This never happens.
So something comes up and everything stops. And specifically, IT professionals deal with a lot of the mental workload, deadline, constant deadline changes, working late, sitting continuously for long hours. What happens in this case? All the routine totally disappears. Specifically, if I
Actually, I beg to differ. Not only IT professionals today, everyone is working more than 12 hours, and IT professionals think that they are working too much and that they are in a complex world. But, so they are like a cat closing their eyes.
that's a real,
அனாசிகடியில் உட்காந்துருக்காரு கல்லால் உட்காந்துருக்காருல அவர் கூட சிட்டிங்
18 hours, yeah.
that's a very good viewpoint, Karthik. I totally appreciate that. And I will come to that point as well, right? So it's not the only IT portion, many portions suffer with this weight challenge, and they start with some diet advice, and they over the time those routine disappears, right?
Not only IT professional, January 1st, every bugger decides this.
Every bugger
Until Republic Day.
Pongal.
Okay, so let us bring the discussion back. Lot of interesting discussion happening. Let us bring the discussion back to the same topic. Okay. So eat less, exercise more. What happens? Eventually, sleep getting poorer, and stress increases. Basically, with the IT professional, not only with the IT professional, as Karthik said, near the other professionals as well. If this happens, sleep get hit and stress increases, body behaves totally differently. Okay, this is not about discipline, right? This is about following a system that can work for them. That's the reason eat less, exercise more advice doesn't work in the long term. Number 2 myths. One food is the enemy. Which one food is the enemy?
Rice.
Rice.
No food is
Sweet.
eating.
Sweet.
White color is it?
That's what is a myth, right? Everybody, you typically get advice, stop eating rice, you will start losing
Maida.
weight.
Sugar, right?
But no one food is the problem. Suddenly, we are eating rice from the younger age, suddenly it's becoming a villain. Why? So, no single food is a problem here. Not a rice, not carbohydrate, not a wheat, not any bread or sugar as well. The problem is entire lifestyle balance. That's what we have to make it happen. Myth number 3. Quick fix
So I
diet.
mean to say that the rice can be taken as much as possible or moderate. What is your suggestion?
Okay, so that's also a good thing, right? So let me clarify this. My way of classifying food as not as good or bad. Eat more, eat some, eat less, not eat none. Okay, eat in moderation. Okay, I will come to that. I will let you know how to eat the rice as well, so that it doesn't affect us. Another thing is quick fixes diet works. Lot of new thing comes every year, right? So keto diet, GM diet, detox juice, water fasting, extreme fasting, or just fruit diets. But what happens with IT professionals? They deal with a lot of different challenges, right? And
Again, you're
those-
saying IT profession.
Because it's title is IT.
Because the title
So
is
just
fixed
to
to IT.
justify
IT
the
profession.
title. He was from IT industry.
Don't stick to IT, okay.
lot of good things are happening here. Okay. So coming back to quick fix works, right? What happens here? Lot of new diets comes in, and people started following. They get results. They lose weight, obviously. That works quickly for a short term. After that, what happens?
Gets fixed up differently.
Yeah, something happens, some plot this happens, and they stop the routine and they gain the weight back. Again, this is not about specific diet, right? It's about the entire lifestyle. So what can be done here? Let me talk about real truth about factors. Number one, breaking the sedentary cycle. What I mean by that? Specifically, IT professionals sit continuously for long, right? Pick up some movement that even doesn't require time. That can be done within your workday itself. For example, every 30 minutes, every 1 hour, you stand and sit for 5 to 10 reps. As simple as that.
How to work, standing and doing.
Yeah, it could be a standing work. That's a very good point, right? DDM webinar. Or some muscle activation, like lifting the leg and or pushing up your
But how to remember that? How to remember that pushing all this?
Yeah.
So,
And the before food price, after food price.
before food or after. Yeah, okay. That's another good thing happening. Right? You can type with another activity that you are doing. For example, Yama said, right? So after a meal, you can go for a simple walk, 5 or 10 minutes walk. Number 2 is, instead of changing your food, there are other techniques that you can follow to create that calorie deficit or improving or stabilizing your energy. It could be something, whatever you are eating currently, whatever the vegetables you are eating or the protein that you are eating, could be even a vegetarian protein, increase the bit on each meal. That could be one session. Another one could be, good, that looks like some interesting combinations happening there. Can we get him or will come to this discussion?
You can continue.
I asked about this food habits.
Disruption.
So that's one thing, right? So improving your protein intake or the vegetable intake, whatever you're taking currently. Second one could be slowing down your pace of whatever the food that you are taking. That could be something that start with the protein before picking up any other thing. Using this itself, we can create some sort of calorie deficit. Number 3, sleep more. Doesn't mean that sleeping for 8 to 9 hours, even with the shorter duration sleep, you are getting restful sleep. Sleep quality is most important compared to the sleep quantity.
Sir, I can sleep only when I eat curd rice.
And if that works key for you, then
So that's what I'm doing regularly, but I don't think it's helping me.
You are doing anything for somebody.
Ah.
Again, you are eating curd rice after sleep.
Sleep is only the interruption.
lot of interesting discussion happening.
The missing
How about,
interruptions here.
So we had a curd rice in the morning, I think. Let us bring the conversation back to the same topic here. I will come to that Vijay in the middle. Third one is sleep quality. So what is happening with the sleep quality? Whenever it's not about the body being at rest, mind also should be at rest. How to bring the mind calmer during sleep? Could be many things. What happens is many of the typically with the IT professionals, they think a lot what to respond to.
As the others don't think.
They also think, okay. So this looks like this advice is applicable to all, not only IT professionals.
So let's take a look.
It's a good idea for your business. Target audience is more. You don't have to attack only IT professionals.
They can
Maybe
afford
they are paying more, you are looking for that client. Maybe you look for others also.
Okay, let me change the audience as well. I will say all are my target audience. So how do you
Quality
do
over
that?
quantity.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity.
Audience. Good that you are bringing back the conversation to the same topic. Coming back to this sleep quality, right? How to improve the sleep quality? As I said, right, everybody thinks a lot about what's happening in their life or what's happening in their work. Take a piece of paper, whatever the thoughts comes to your mind, just put it on the paper before going to sleep and trash the paper. That itself, if you are able to build the consistency, you will get the good quality sleep. So this clearly means that fat loss to make the fat loss to happen, extreme routines are not required. Even a simple routine, small routine that you can take it up based on your life, based on your convenience, which can be done consistently, likely is going to work for you. That's based on my experience coaching many clients. So what it typically points to is fat loss advice. Why it fails? Because it's not taking the reality of the people's life, especially IT professionals. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Managing difficult audience is quite a challenge. Managing Meraki's it's totally another league, sir.
Because 90
Well
minutes.
done. Okay. Before we move on to the next item on the agenda, let's move on to the next missing piece. S. Selecting the role players. 2014, I was a conference chair, and even today, every November 25th, my teammates of that conference sends me happy Reverberation 2014 Vijay. That's the kind of bond that I have built with my role players in that conference. Last time when they gave the gratitude card, I had no clue who were some of the role players. The way they did their role, I went to them personally, I asked them what is their name, and then I wrote them a thank you note, and then I gave it to them. Every role player creates a big impact. Can you guess how many role players are required for a conference? Or at least name some of the role players, key role players. Conference chair.
Conference chair.
District director is not a role player, it's a responsibility.
Registration chair.
Registration chair.
Program chair.
Program chair. Hospitality chair. Venue.
Rewards chair.
Rewards chair.
Logistics.
Logistics.
Contest management.
Contest management. Fair, well done, yes. Along with this, there are going to be so many other role players, even managing the small nitty-gritties of every conference. Role players will make or break any conference, and they will help us to remember the conference for the years to come. I have been fortunate enough to work with such role players, and when I was a role player myself, I did to the best of my ability. When you get an opportunity to play a role player in one of the upcoming conferences, make sure you say yes, and I promise you that will be one of the yeses that you would thank yourself for. Let's move on to the next agenda item, which is the club election. Ours is an annual club, which means we select our club officers annually, once in a year. Clubs that meet every week will select their officers every 6 months. To take us through the club office election procedures, please help me welcome the election officer for today. When I asked him what was his favorite conference, he said 2025 conference that he loved the most. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Chalakana.
Good morning, Meraki.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm so happy to conduct the elections for today. This is for 2026-2027 term. Since, as Vijay has already said, we are always having a 1-year term for us. So, this 1-year term is going to be the officers, they are going to run the office Meraki for next 1 year. As you all know, there are 7 officers we are going to elect today, starting from president to the sergeant at arms. We have opened the slate for 3 weeks before, and there were nominations for most of the roles, not for all the roles. And now we'll start from the sergeant at arms role to the president role. I will go by, and I will announce the slate candidates' names, and then I will open the floor for if anyone would like to nominate yourself on the floor. In case if there is a slate candidate available and if there is a nomination from the floor, we'll have the election. If there is no nomination from the floor, then those who are being nominated themselves as a slate candidate will be announced as the officer for the particular role. Okay? So let's start the elections now, and let's go from the sergeant at arms. For the position of sergeant at arms for the term 2026-2027, we have 1 slate candidate nomination, distinguished Toastmaster Karthik Mohandas. Do we have further nominations from the floor? Do we have further nominations from the floor? Further nominations from the floor? Right. Now the nominations closed. I would like to announce that distinguished Toastmaster Karthik Mohandas is the sergeant at arms. May I request Toastmaster Kema to act as the election secretary to note down the questions and answers. So now we'll go for the next role, for the secretary role. Secretary role, we have 1 nomination from the slate, Toastmaster Priya Damodaran. Now we'll let the floor open for the secretary role. Do we have further nominations for the secretary role on the floor? Do we have further nominations from the floor for the post of secretary? Do we have further nominations? No. So now it's closed, and I would like to say, Toastmaster,
Ask the secretary to cast the single ballot for single nomination.
I cast for Priya. I
Yes,
cast for
yes.
Please, Can. And Toastmaster Priya Damodaran has been elected as the secretary. 2022. Now, the next role we can move on. It's for the treasurer role. Again, we have one slate candidate, which is Distinguished Toastmaster Vijayalakshmi. Now let me open the floor for the nominations. Do we have further nominations for the position of treasurer? Do we have further nominations for the position of treasurer? Any additional nominations? No. Now the nominations closed. Now then I will request secretary as for the sixth vote. Yeah. Distinguished Toastmaster Vijayalakshmi is elected as the treasurer for 2026-27. Now, the next role is Vice President Public Relations, PPPR. We have one slate candidate nominated, which is the Toastmaster Arvind. Now let the floor open. Do we have further nominations for the position of PPPR? Do we have further nominations on the floor for the position of PPPR? Any further nominations? Okay. Now the nominations are closed. Now I would like to request the secretary record the single vote. And let me announce Toastmaster Aravind as a VPPR for the term 2026. So then now let's move on to the next role, which is VPM, VP membership. We have one slate candidate nomination, which is Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Kumar for the position of VPM. Now let the floor open. Do we have any further nominations for the position of VPM from the floor? Any further nominations for the position of VPM? Anyone would like to nominate? All right, thank you. Now the nominations closed. Secretary, please record the one vote. Now, Distinguished Toastmaster Satish Kumar is elected as a VPM for the term 2026. For the position of PPE, Vice President Education, we don't have any slate nomination. Do we have, now the floor is open for the position of PPE. Do we have nominations for the position of PPE from the floor? Do we have nominations from the floor for the position of PPE? We'll have nominations for the position of PPE. No? Okay, so now the nominations closed. We'll reserve this post for later. Executive committee can, the new executive committee, incoming committee can sit and decide the next PPE for that position.
There is no one I can change or
So you already taken the PPR.
Change also.
You want to change?
then I will take.
Like
I would like to nominate myself for it.
Yeah.
So we'll keep PR open.
PPPR, no, who will be
That will be.
I agree to take
Yeah,
that.
yeah, much better. So, only other is not well, seriously. So,
So you can discard this PPR and you can nominate
Yeah.
for PPE.
The PR position now being open, considering Arvind has nominated himself for VPE position. So I'd like to the floor candidate Arvind. Anyone else would like to nominate for VPE?
PPR.
PPE.
PPE is,
VPE.
Arvind,
Arvind.
PPR is
Okay.
no.
So secretary, please note down. PPE position, I would like to, Toastmaster Arvind has been selected as PPE for the term. Again, we have okay, so we'll keep it open with PPR position for now. And now the final top position, President. We have one slate candidate, Toastmaster Hemalata, for the position of President. Do we have any floor nominations for the position of President? Do we have further nominations from the floor for the position of President? Do we have further nominations? Okay, thank you. Now the nominations are officially closed. Toastmaster Hemalata has been selected as President for the term 2026-2027. Congratulations. So as an election officer, today actually the VPPR position is open and I am fine to take that position. So I would like to nominate myself. All right, so thank you. So now we have selected for all the positions. Like to have, all the selected officers please come on the stage.
Somebody else take a picture. Sundar, you come.
Doing president.
Wait.
Immediate past president.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for the successful